I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch.
Good evening, everyone, on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight, we will be smoking on Degenerate. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds, myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And yes, indeed, we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, guy. I'm feeling good, man. Super productive. You know, like I was telling you earlier offline in the backstage, man, this heat, you know, farming and dealing with livestock and these crops and dealing with the watering. Like it takes a lot of effort, man. And you get some hits and misses and a lot of effects, right? And you learn to deal with the effects and you learn to adjust, right? So we've been putting up a lot of shade, right? Putting up some fans, just trying to keep things cool and just going with the punches, man. Like, you know, Mother Nature is the mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes, and she can be a mother.
She
can be one bad mother, Mama Jamma, when she feel like it. But man, oh, the joy that she does bring. And that's always what's up, God, because right now they got some little parasite going on around on vegetables and fruits and stuff. And it seems like that's stuff that you get at the store. But if you are 10, 16 and 160 self-sustaining, you know, that might be something that when you see that pop across your phone or come across your feed, you ain't even worried about nothing. So that's another reason. We're gonna get to that. But yeah, y'all make sure to smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. So when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Also, y'all head on over to www.bksoulfarm.com and pick up your copy of what we was just talking about. 1016 160 Self-Sustainability by that brother right there, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. Link is in the description. And also, y'all, don't forget to subscribe to DBCHEFTV. Put your name in the hat and win possibly $100. We're giving this away each and every third Sunday right here of the month. And we want it to be you. So what you got to do for it to be you is subscribe to the channel. And we thank you for that and love you for that as always. So go ahead, put your name in the hat. And don't forget, we got merch, DB Chef TV merch. We got BK Soul Farm merch. Link is in the description. And like we always say, God, if money's tight, it's all right. We're going to still love them if they do what?
Smash that like.
Smash that like button for us. And we're going to go ahead and get to tonight's smoke. Let's bring up the questions for Degenerate. So always, each and every Sunday right here, we got our first house question. What do you think of when you hear the word degenerate? We want to know. What do you think of when you hear the word degenerate? 2, have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate or too afraid as a society to not appear tolerant to degenerate behavior? No, that's a loaded one, y'all. But we're gonna get to it tonight. We're gonna smoke on that one tonight. 3, does entertainment contribute to degeneration, or does it only reflect society? 4, does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? If yes or no, why? What does it look like? And what are some solutions? And then 5th and final, last but never least, is the word degenerate bad, good, or misunderstood? You know what you got to do. You got to stick around to the end of the show for the Cigarden Panel to let you know Also, we got some good flavor bombs tonight, so y'all gonna want to stick around for those to hear our insights. And yeah, let us know in the chat or in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. And we're gonna go ahead and get to the guy Ali Dawudel at BK Soul Farm. What do you think of when you hear the word degenerate?
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Yeah, I jotted down a few things as you was running through the questions that just popped into my head when I think about degenerate. And the first thing I think about is low vibrations. Something that's not high volume. It's something that's just fun, right? Like it's nothing really mental, right? Nothing that's gonna help you to elevate for real, right? I think about no positive production, right? Nothing positive other than fun, right? And I'm saying fun is cool, but not necessarily positive, right? Nothing grows uh, from degeneracy, is what I think. I also think it's a rage against culture, right? So whenever we actually did a show about it, you know, Black culture. We talked about culture and if we even had one, right? And what I notice is even in having that conversation, that people tend to delve into a debate in that conversation, right? Because they want to hold on and fight against all the things that they like doing, right? That they want to hold on to, that they don't necessarily feel bad about, but because they don't see no harm in it, right? And I also think about the quote unquote black card, right? Like when I think about the culture, I think about that being the silent culture that doesn't really have a definition or real meaning. I mean, I guess the meaning is degeneracy, actually. And I'm thinking about it out loud, right? And that's why I tie that into rage against culture, because the black card to me is a rage against culture. Is something that fights against us developing a better culture for ourselves, right?
And let me be clear. You're not talking about the American Express black card, right?
Nah.
Right. You know, I mean, it's some people out there that might be thinking like, what is the guy talking about? A black card?
You threw me over there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Some folks be like, it's
No,
what do American Express got to do with
I'm talking about the hood pass,
the black card?
the
Talk
black
about it.
card. I'm
For
talking
sure.
about that, right? I'm talking about um the image that pops into it's almost like when you hear the Santa Claus, the images, the fat white man with the big white beard or whatever, red hat. You don't think of no other Santa Claus. You think about Jesus, think about the white man or whatever. Sometimes you think about the black man, depending on your
Never, never. I don't care. The first one that was introduced to me was the fat white guy with the beard, and he had reindeer. He
That
lived in
was
the
Santa
North
Claus.
Pole.
That was
All that.
it.
I don't care any variation you give me. You could give me a Samoan. You could give me a Zimbabwean. You could give me a Venezuelan. It don't matter. I'm still gonna think of
That's gonna be Santa, right?
that's gonna be Santa always.
Right. And I just feel like the hood pass, the quote unquote black card, you know, it's somebody's having the idea that they can pull somebody's black card, like that is saying that, you know, you're not acting as black as you should, or as black as I think you should be. And it's really is you not supporting niggerdom, right? Like usually the people that get they black cards pulled are people that are anti Negro activity.
Break that
Right.
down a little bit, God. We talking about degenerate behavior and degenerate, right? So break that down a little bit, because a black card getting revoked, you know, we've seen that in the past. We've seen that, you know, we've seen that in the past with like Tiger Woods. They, you know, was these jokes and narratives with like his black card was revoked.
Yeah,
right?
that's when you see stuff like that, and it's like, all right, like what does that mean, right? In reality, right? Like that mean that the police don't pull him over no more because his black card was revoked? Like
Who,
he
Tiger?
like,
Police pull him over?
like, it don't mean that, right? Like so
he always give him a reason.
And so what does that mean as a way, just as another way of putting somebody down, or a way of separating somebody from the group, right? Because if you don't want to bullshit and party, then you obviously are a killjoy, right? Like why are you at the party? Like you don't even want to party. And I'm saying, why are you at the party? You don't even want to party. You know what I'm saying? Everybody at the party should be people that want to party, right? People that want to elevate and do other things should be, you know, together doing that thing, you know. But
I get that. Like even at the work, even, you know, if whether they call in the party or work party,
yeah,
you know, it's still like, yeah, we should have some principles aligned.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that would be fair.
That'd be fair, right? But degeneracy is, to me, is like it fights against anything that you might want to do to have a collective image, or because again, that whole idea of we're fighting against the whole monolith narrative that is put on us, right? This whole everybody, oh, you know, black people not a monolith. Yeah, nobody's a monolith, right? Like there's no household that everybody think the same, that everybody walk the same, dress the same, and do monolithic things, right? Like everybody got their own brains, right? But the idea is that house.
Do they?
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, they do, right?
Physically, yes.
they could give them over to the TV. They could give them over to the algorithm, and let that manipulation run and control them. And now they living from meme to meme, and off of one TikTok to the next TikTok, right? Keeping their car good because they're keeping up with the trends, right? Or they could,
or at least, like you said, that car with the people that they riding with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, if somebody in that house is trying to is doing something anti anybody in that house, like they're fighting against culture, like they're fighting against what we're trying to produce and what we're trying to say we represent ourselves.
Is that right? Like being in a house and nobody in your house, older people, went to college or nothing, and they like, well, why you want to go to college?
But not for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you the eyeball. But everybody should be pushing you to go to college because they
didn't.
Because they didn't. or couldn't, or whatever the reason was.
They didn't. They did. It's just
they didn't.
If you didn't, then you didn't.
That's true.
You know, whatever whatever your reason for, excuse, rationale, logic, didn't happen.
That's true. That's true. Right.
So they should be supportive.
And you should never try to stop your reflection, especially from succeeding, right? And I feel like that's what the hood pass do. That's what the black card do. That's what it means to be degenerate. It holds back your potential success, right? And it's just not productive. That's how I feel about it.
No doubt. So that's what the guy Ali Dawudera BK Soul Farm thinks.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. My bad.
When he hears the word degenerate, y'all let us know what y'all think, or if any of those things that he was saying, you know, you resonate with. Exchange insights. Let us know. We respond to you. Man, what does Chef Earl Pearl think of when he hears the word degenerate? just a whole lot of foulness going on. I will say this. I go back to my first interaction with the word. I got a auntie, and I remember her coming into a space where I was and a couple of my other cousins and my uncle, who was her older brother. And she would say, she would greet us like, "What are you degenerates up to today?" Right?
Just on rip.
You know, yeah, like you know, like we in the house chilling. We ain't even outside right now. You know, like everybody in here, you know, enjoying the family time. Like, you know, but
That's
I
funny.
love her. I love her to death though, you know, for that. So I didn't really know what that was, you know, then.
Damn.
You know, like I had no knowledge of what that was then. In my immature, uh, irrational, illogical mind, I was thinking though that it had something to do with being a thug or being in the streets, you know, or being a gangster or being tough in my mind, you know. So when I hear the word degenerate, that's what I typically would think of. Like it must be something to do with the streets. It must be something to do with something illegal, with something criminal, with something non-righteous, you know, um, something that ain't good. You know, it might look good on the outside, but in the inside it ain't good. So that was the first meeting of it. And then like since then, I haven't really heard the word anymore. Like for real, God. Like I haven't heard the word no more. I heard, you know, like I'm thinking when we doing this, I'm thinking like, damn, I remember my aunt used to call us little degenerate bastards and all this other little stuff, little degenerate heathens. You know, like she used to switch it up. She had an elegant way of putting it together, right? And then I'm thinking like, wow, like I just haven't heard it in so long, you know? So, and then I realized like what I thought it was or what it was referring to, that can't be correct. Cause you know, I would have to be being honest, like looking at myself in the mirror, like, okay, how can I identify with degenerate? Okay. At that point in time, at that age in my life, my adolescence. And then I'm like, okay, well, since I haven't heard it in so long, you know, what is it? What you know, how do we correlate that to today, to having an understanding of what it is today, even and then now being able to, once we go through the show, you know, then self-reflect and see if I'm any of these things, or if any of my areas of life I've been conducting myself that way, or you know. So that's what I think of when I hear the word degenerate without having, you know, a up-to-date knowledge of it. You know, when I'm thinking of degenerate, I'm thinking of scammers, boosters, thieves, robbers, you know, illegal dealers, cat pillars, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking it's just criminal, everything criminal, you know. But y'all let us know what you think of when you hear the word degenerate. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get into the definition, because that's what we do right here on Cigar Sundays live each and every Sunday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. No, where we go up at 8 p.m. y'all. 8 p.m. East Coast time. And yeah, that's brunch. That's brunch on Fridays. But we go up at 8 p.m. y'all. Make sure to smash that like button and hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. It helps us get content like this in front of beautiful people like you. And let's get to degenerate, y'all. That's what we smoking on tonight. It is an adjective, a verb, and a noun. So we getting it first right here. 1A, having declined or become less specialized, as in nature, character, structure, or function, from an ancestral or former state. That's the first one right out the break. That's heavy. Having declined or become less specialized, as in nature, character, structure, or function, from an ancestral or former state.
That's crazy.
That's heavy. Having sunk, 1B, having sunk to a condition below that which is normal to a type. I ain't got no type. Bad Bezos is the only thing that I like. Ooh, it's all in the music, ain't it? Yeah, we got a type though.
Hell yeah.
And then we got C, 1C, degraded. All right. Then we have 2, mathematics, being simpler as by having a factor or a constant equal to 0 than the typical case. Then we get physics and chemistry, having 2 or more states or subdivisions, especially of the same energy or frequency. Having 2 or more states or subdivisions, especially of the same energy or frequency. Now that's, see, that right there sound like some things coming together.
Yeah, but we talking about physics and chemistry though. That's
physics and chemistry, but when we put it down to the physical human,
you gotta scroll up.
We gotta scroll up. You ain't lying, God. All right.
And that's real, right? Because if they didn't have that there specifically for chemistry, physics and chemistry, people might try to use it to apply it to people in situations, and it's like, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, no doubt, God. It's exactly like that. Let's go. Genetics, having more than one codon representing an amino acid, also being such a codon. Okay, so that's, I'm lost on that. I'm not even, I'm lost. I'm lost. I gotta do some research on the genetic, because we know we dealing with physics and chemistry, but having one codon representing an amino acid. Okay, having more than one. Okay, so we will have to figure out what that, actually, let's go ahead and see what that is real quick. Okay, codon. All right. That's how you, codon.
Yeah, no,
A
you said it right the
specific
first time.
sequence. Codon.
Yeah, I think.
A specific sequence of 3 consecutive nucleotides that is part of a genetic code that specifies a particular amino acid in a protein or starts or stops protein synthesis. Okay, we can kind of rock with that. We understand that a little bit better. Okay, we understand that a little bit better. And then it's in correlation into a specific amino acid. Okay, having more than one. All right. Then we get degenerate as a verb, to pass from a higher to a lower type of condition. To pass from a higher to a lower type of condition. That's kind of lining up with 1A.
Yep.
Then we have the verb still going. It's still going, to sink into a low intellectual or moral state. 3, to decline in quality. back to biology, to decline from a condition from the standards of a species, race, or breed. To decline from a condition from the standards of a species, race, or breed. Then we got to evolve. We have 5, to evolve or develop into a less autonomous or less functionally active form. And then we have the now. Ones whose behavior is not morally right or socially acceptable. B, a actual pervert. And then one showing signs of reversion to an earlier culture stage. What we got, God? What are these? What is these sticking out to you right now?
I think we were spot on. I think we were spot on. Like except for like the genetic stuff and like all that super science stuff, right? But as it applies to society and what's going on, like we're not progressing. Not especially not morally or intellectually, right? I said I thought that was even interesting that they had intellectual to decline morally, to decline intellectually and morally in the same sentence, because that kind of means like morals is like in your mind, like you got to actually think that you're doing the right thing, right? Like, but there's nothing. I don't know, God. I think everything that we said of what we thought is right here defined. I can only imagine what the source is.
Speaking of the thesaurus, let's find out. So we're gonna head on over to the thesaurus, and the thesaurus gives us the synonyms of degenerate, as in weak, corrupt, pervert, and as in to deteriorate. So we see 1, as in weak, having lost forcefulness, courage, or spirit. Weak, decayed, degraded, decadent. What's that? Affect?
Affect, yeah.
Overripe, weakened, washed up, feeble, failing, dying, decaying, soft, dissolute, declining, immoral, precious, wasted, depraved, debilitated, enfeebled, debased, debauched, wanting, frail, languid, languid, yeah. Wimpy, demoralized, dissipated, enervated, enervated. Is that it? Enervated. Over refined, enervate, and sapped. I can see a lot of these right here, these words, in some of these things that we had our meaning attached to.
Yeah.
Of what we thought of when we heard the word. But let's move to as in corrupt. Having or showing lowered moral character or standards. Corrupt, degraded, sick, depraved, decadent, dissolute, perverted, crooked, loose, debased, debauched, warped, demoralized, unclean, libertine, vicious, unwholesome, perverse, spoiled, dissipated, dishonest, rakish, reprobate,
yeah,
immoral, evil, wicked, bad, unprincipled, unscrupulous, reckless, jackleg, contaminated, bent, unethical, cutthroat, sinful, tainted, iniquitous, nefarious, miscreant. Yeah. Yeah.
And nothing to say
Yeah.
when it's saying it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember all the scammers, dishonest. All the thieves, dishonest. All the dealers, dishonest. All of this, dishonest. All that evil, all that unprincipled, unscrupulous, that wickedness, that badness. Yeah. With a house.
Mm-hmm.
With a he's house. Perverted. All that. Where the twerkers at? I'm just seeing it. I'm just seeing it all in the culture. You know, if I ain't call it out yet, we ain't get to all the questions yet. So don't worry. We ain't done. Got to identify the problem before we start talking about a solution.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got degenerate as in pervert, a person who has sunk below the normal moral standard. Pervert, rake, villain, libertine, deviant, playboy. Playboy is a pervert. Wow. A backslider, debauchery, debaucher, derelict. We got called that too. That was you derelicts. Like, what is that?
I didn't know it pervert though. Now
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought it just meant I was a bum or lazy or something.
you know, the juvenile delinquent. I'm thinking it's something related to being a delinquent, but I'm not thinking it has to do with sunk below the normal moral standard.
No. I didn't think that at all. I thought it meant lazy.
I'm like, you need to give me some game, giving me all these words, programming me to be these words that you don't know if it's gonna work or not. If I'm gonna learn them and say, nah, I don't want to be that, Need some knowledge behind them things, calling people them names. But then we got perv, decadent, Raquel, rip, bankrupt, reprobate, delinquent, heel, scoundrel, rogue, blackguard. Wow. What's that? Naive?
Or knave.
Knave, okay. Yeah. Sicko, cad, incorrigible, incorrigible, leecher, miscreant, satire, rascal, sickie, and the playgirl. Playgirls too. And the playboy. They left no pervert unturned. Okay, then we have degenerate as in deteriorate, to become worse or of less value. Over the years, the community-minded organization degenerated into a club for loafers.
Damn.
I don't know why we laughing, because, man, that sounds like the Black community, and that's not funny. But all they did was they put a community-minded organization into a club for loafers. Yeah. So
it's fun though.
Yes, indeed. It is fun. Loafing, right? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was a fantastic movie. Deteriorate, descend, crumble, worsen, decline, decay, rot, devolve, diminish, atrophy, retrograde, regress, sink, ebb, weaken, disintegrate, corrupt, go to seed, degrade, fall, sag, decompose, go to pot, putrefy, recede, reduce, dwindle, slip, downsize, wane, sour, dilapidate, undermine, abate, spoil, debilitate, languish, run down, waste away, break away, lessen, fail, droop, molder, wilt, lower, lag, de-escalate, flag.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have taken the word ebb as a form of deterioration. I just thought it was ebb and flow, like a back and forth kind of thing. But the back part, I guess, would be deterioration.
Yeah, at low tide.
Yeah, right. and then even when it had Wayne up there, I was like, Wayne. I was like, I'm thinking that the moon. I'm like, the Wayne would be less of the moon, waxing would be more of the moon. I'm like, okay.
Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi.
Like, all right.
That's why he had him in circles, God. It was the moon.
Yeah. Like, I like this show, God, because it shows you like different ways to think about these words and how they apply, so that it helps me understand better.
Absolutely, absolutely, God.
So I can actually say what I mean for real,
and mean what I say, right?
Word.
Even though we ain't knocking the people to say, you know what I mean, or you know what I'm saying, we ain't knocking that though. But
I'm saying it clearly.
Right. I'm just saying that it's a way that you don't have to add that to the end.
Exactly. You can just say it clearly.
It is a way we can change. We can simplify the way we communicate and make it more effective. So we have degenerate as an adjective, verb, and noun. When we had 1A, we had having declined or become less specialized in nature, character, structure, function from an ancestral or former state, having sunk to a condition below that which is a normal type. Okay, then we're just gonna go down here. We're not even gonna do all of these. We're just gonna get the first couple of ones that from the verb, noun, and adverb. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna say to pass from a higher to a lower type of condition, to deteriorate, to sink to a low intellectual or moral state, to decline in quality. And then we have here as a noun, which is when we apply this in conversation, person, place, or things, of what we've all been taught a noun is, like I think like in first grade or something like that. You know,
it's early.
Yeah, you know, like I think that never changes. Even though, you know, they say we gonna talk different and do stuff and have meanings to things, but we still turn things into nouns so everybody can identify and know what a noun is. So when we having a conversation and we talking about a person, place, or thing, or people, places, or things, then you understand that it's just plural, singular, right? So we got degenerate as a noun, and as one whose behavior is not morally right or socially acceptable, and be a sexual pervert. Okay. And that's what,
you know, that first one, or that adjective is a powerful one, God. It's a what was it? A fall, basically a fall from the ancestral state, or something like that. Like when I think about that, they say, you know, we was kings and queens.
absolutely.
And most of us are running away from being homeowners while saying we want everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We don't even want a place to put it. Right? So I think that's definitely a degenerate behavior or activity or circumstance, right? Because that could be resolved with something as simple as financial literacy, or organized or compulsory financial literacy. Right?
Yeah, a lot of people have to, but this the thing, God. A lot of people feel as though that it's difficult to get the money up to get to make the down payment on the home. Now we have the programs and stuff like that. Like, just since we just specifically talking about that, right? We got the programs and stuff because the Congress just actually passed a bill, and this was one of them bills that passed without the president's signature, showing us again that the president is not the end all be all when it comes to the laws. Okay. And because everybody think the president, whoever the president is, make the laws. They don't make the laws.
Literally
Congress,
not their job.
it's not their job. They're not part of the legislative branch. You know,
got a whole branch for that.
Yeah, like Trump making a new law. This new Trump, like, no, he not. He not. Like, if they don't vote, man, and it don't go through or whatever, and even if it's something that they come up with and they agree on, and they send it to him after like 2 or 3 times or whatever, they just be like, all right, we don't need you. We making this law anyway. You know,
interested in it,
and that's literally how it works. Like, I'm not capping for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, you know. I don't know. They taught us this in maybe 3rd grade, you know, but I guess folks really not smarter than 5th graders because they don't be trying to learn nothing else after the 5th grade. I don't know.
You think we know it already?
But real talk though, family, with that new bill coming in, it doesn't matter what new bills get enacted or whatever. People still have to realize that there's a responsibility that comes with wanting to own anything. And when you're talking about afforded means that I can get it and I can maintain it.
Facts.
It's not just I can have it. We suffer from this degenerate thing that I think of as a had syndrome, where we'll feel good about having something versus, and I only seen this around Black folks. I ain't seen this. I don't have enough friends of other ethnicities that I have experienced time socialized with them to hear them be like, man, I remember when I had this, or I remember when I had that.
That's
you know,
right.
I honestly be like, some of the non-Black friends that I have, like, they always focusing on, man, look at this, look at it. You think you think like it's always a how can I get this, or how can it's always, and that's just the group that I have. I can't say, I can't say that if somebody else was in another group and they had somebody else with different ethnicities that they might not hear that conversation, because I don't think it's limited to an ethnicity. I'm just talking about on my personal experience.
What you're exposed to.
Yeah, when I'm exposed to, like, I just be tired of hearing brothers like, man, when I had this, when I had that, man, you remember this, and it's like, okay, what about today? Can we put a plan together now to have that today, but then you have it in the most responsible way, because everybody got them. I had stories. Everybody got that. Well, what did you do to get better to say, all right, I want to have now. I want to keep. And it don't have to be everything, but it have to be the things that you have deemed as a priority, and do the things necessary to maintain that. So with that bill coming in, and whatever we talk about, where it's a cultural thing where we don't want to own houses, we gotta learn what ownership is, and all of the rules and responsibilities that come with that, and then not be scared to embrace it.
Yeah, and I was only using owning houses as one example, but it's all things Black Wall Street-ish.
Yeah, businesses too, God.
Right, because
I'm with you.
Because the idea, the narrative has been, in my upbringing, every time you talk about building, uniting, growing something, dun dun dun, but the white man's gonna come and burn it down, just like Black Wall Street. Like, there's always this fear of not being allowed to progress and succeed. So it's like, let's just get a bunch of money and just throw a party.
That sounds fun. You sound like you not no fun. You sound like you ain't no fun.
You
You
know,
know,
so
you want everybody to be working and mad.
I don't know. That's what, you know. That's why I wouldn't go to the party, like, unless unless I've done everything I need to do on my end and I can actually afford to have fun, because I'm good over
Yeah, right.
here.
That's the only way you see me at the party, is because I'm not paying for it tomorrow.
At all.
You know,
At all, right? No
party
choice.
paid for today.
Today.
You know.
Right.
So let's get into our second question, God. We have this evening. Have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate, or too afraid as a society to not appear tolerant to degenerate behavior? Y'all let us know in the chat or in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. And make sure to smash that like button, y'all. Have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate, or too afraid as a society to not appear tolerant to degenerate behavior?
I think the lack of an identifiable, affirmed culture makes everybody too judgmental, right? Because there's nothing to say what the actual standard is, per se, right? And when the standard looks like it's being propelled on the TV and the news, not the news, but the music and the movies, is debauchery and whatnot, and that appears to be, I think that that makes people become afraid to complain about things that don't look right, because it's everywhere socially. It's the social norm is the base human behavior is everywhere. It's in your face. It's, you know, people go out their way. You know, ridiculousness is the how can I garner views, because the views is gonna, you know, generate some dollars somehow, right? And and you know, with a place like America only being 250 years old, uh, not necessarily having enough time to deal with its own narrative in the first place, right? Because the whole slave culture that they just, I guess they said they not gonna deal with it at all. So I guess we just gotta accept their reality, right? But the reality.
What you mean, God? Like, as far as they not going to say? Oh, you talking about the?
Yeah, so by them saying no reparations, that means they're not gonna ever apologize. They're not gonna they're not gonna ever do anything to make that right. So there's gonna always be a foundational divide of thought, right? And then when you have an influx of other cultures from other countries coming here and are embraced and accepted and encouraged to live out their culture,
Surpass the black class. We don't care what you do here, just surpass the black class.
Right. I think it made people fall back a lot, right? And you don't necessarily know what you can talk about or what's gonna offend. It's just I think it's just too confusing right now, God, to be honest, right? I think but just the fact of that we lack a culture that we identify as ours, and this is what it is. And the only thing that we can say is real is religion, and the predominant religion over here is that of Christianity, and that in itself is a very judgmental religion, right? They're always looking at other people to see if they are Christ-like enough, and are encouraged to bring more Christ into each other or other people's lives. And
Hold
right?
on, watch it, brother. Watch it, brother.
And I'm just saying, but
Are
like
you
that.
saved? Are you saved? If you ain't saved, you can't talk like that. Okay. you can't talk like that.
I'm not saying it's negative. I'm just expressing, I'm just observing the action, the activities as a judgmental activity, right? Where you get to look on somebody else and say, hey, I think you need more Christ in your life, or I need to introduce you to Jesus Christ or whatever, right? So I think that in itself just makes everybody naturally super judgmental in itself. So I guess what I'm saying, I guess we're too judgmental because of Christianity. And
You
because
say
we
it's
don't,
Christianity that's
because
causing the degenerative
judge
way.
the judgmentalness, because we don't have another culture outside of that we can all identify.
That's amazing. You put that whole back on it. Just threw it all on the Christianity and that sack.
Yo,
Dang,
like
that's heavy.
they encourage you to go out there and grab them, right? Go get more, right?
That's
Like
heavy.
the Crusades was real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I think. I think it's definitely just is way too much culture. It was way too much judgmentalness, but at the same time, it's yes, it's like a lot of things that people are doing come from other places, right? And it's like come like I grew up, around a lot of West Indian people, and they have carnival every year, and I grew up hearing a lot of, on one half, that's debauchery. They out there doing a lot of wickedness and evilness. On the other hand, I heard, oh, y'all just don't understand the culture. You don't understand how we live. You don't understand the meaning. So it was always a clash and a divide of understanding, right? And from my perspective, growing up, being young, just observing, not having a dog in a fight per se at all, just wanting to just learn. It looked like on this side, that looked bad because of what was taught in the church.
Kind of like, and help. I'm rocking. We exchanging insights, guys. I'm rocking with you. So if I want some goofy stuff, it's okay. Just I be goofy sometimes. Like, so could it be? Is it, and just help and understanding? Is it like with the Adam and Eve story? So like somebody is never gonna follow the rules.
Somebody's never gonna follow the rules.
That's crazy,
right? Like, and it's right. It's built in, right? Like it's. But we're not here to talk about religion. All right.
But we are talking about degenerate behavior, right? And we talking about how it gets to, how it affects, the effects of it, what we're seeing, and and how it affects us personally, how it affects our friends, our family, society, all of those things that we see, culturally throughout, just throughout this human experience, and I get it though. I get what you can with those things from religious aspects, and with Christianity being judgmental, and like we always say, like I'd be like, man, like you got to be judgmental, like you have to be. I don't.
You'll get hurt otherwise.
Yeah, like like, and especially if somebody then show you something, and then you try to think like, oh, that ain't them, It's cool if somebody apologize, but if somebody don't apologize, like that's them, And then even in real life, like sometimes people's apologies be fake because they just be trying to look to see if they could, hurt you again. You know what I mean? So like we live in a wicked place, with morals, where we talking about the morals, like people are morally degenerate, um, they have ulterior motives. We see culturally, you know, things that we would be like, do you really want your kids exposed to that? Are you really okay with, you know, are you okay with that? Like, why do you want to be a part of something like that? When all of the endings don't never seem happy, it's like people becoming okay with the non-happy ending.
It's the black card. It's the hood pass, right?
Where it's like, well, that's part of it.
That's part of it.
Like going to jail is a badge, like is a badge of honor or a badge of toughness.
What you saying? Niggas get shot every day, B. Right? Like, it's not even a big deal.
It's like, damn, I can't imagine that not doing something to help your family get some paper or something, or being free, being able to go to your own refrigerator or bathroom or kitchen, you know, when you feel like it. I can't see, like,
or the front porch,
like rolling over and you can touch a woman. You know what I'm saying? So like
consistently.
Yeah, like that. I don't get the motivation. However, you know, our second question, y'all, is: have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate, or too afraid as a society to not appear tolerant to degenerate behavior? I think we're not quick enough. I think we're not, you know, I think people are not quick enough because they don't recognize, you know, like people will recognize kindness when it's too late.
True.
People will recognize trauma, you know, bad things when it's too late. It's until it's happening to them. You know, people are easily manipulate. Like I always say, I never got hurt by anybody that I didn't trust first. You know, so because if I don't trust you, then I don't let you get close enough to me to hurt me.
That's
you
true.
know. So like, and if I did trust you and let you get close enough to me and you did something foul, then, you know, I forgive, I don't forget. And the way I don't forget is where my actions at, you know, but I've forgiven in my heart because you can't ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got enough going. I got too much riding with me already, you know? So you're not riding with me
at all.
But, you know, but I don't forget though, that still is there. You know, I download that into the memory bank. And then that's how, you know, I govern myself moving forward. But then it's always a cautionary thing because it's just like, all right, you know, the trust ain't there. So when we ask the question also, have we become afraid to be not tolerant? Yeah. I think because when people want to get in cliques and they want to be cool with each other and stuff like that, people will back each other's nonsense. I think sometimes and it comes in different shades and forms, you know, like you could be in the middle of a dispute with a family member and have another family member who like, man, I ain't gonna get involved in it. I ain't gonna get involved in the middle of it. But it's like both parties then came to you and
you're already involved.
Yeah, like both parties then came to you and said something. And now it's like, well,
the council can't quit in the middle of the damn.
I don't want to seem like you right, and I don't want to seem like he wrong or you wrong and they wrong or whatever, you know. But it's like somebody, maybe both people wrong, maybe both people right. But if they can't get it together, then that's why you're there, to be able to fortify that relationship. To be like both, to tell both of y'all are tripping.
Just like that.
You know. So either y'all gonna talk about it, or then what? Y'all just gonna be upset with each other. You know, and it's different when it's family because you might purposely put yourself in a situation where they are. You know, if you're going to your grandmama's 95th, 97th, 100th birthday party, then if you got, you know, a little bit of a discussion or something a gripe that you had with a family member and y'all ain't discussed that, then you're gonna see that person there. So then is the hug fake? You know, and that's what I'll be trying to get to for people to understand, like even in situations with family, like, do you want your hug to be fake with your family? You know, and that's cold, but that's yeah, that's a cold thing right there, God. Like people don't realize that they hug their family member, really have a problem with them, won't pull them to the side. That's a fake hug.
All day.
You know, because you only, you know, like, yeah, you can give somebody a hug, ain't no problem with it, but I ain't in the process of hugging people that I really don't love.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
A fist bump will suffice.
Yeah, like, you know, like if we showing each other love, like, and I really love you, then yeah, all right, bam, we can hug, family. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no big deal. You know, but I think that we are practicing culturally, you know, not me and you, but I see a lot of people practicing culturally where they don't want to say anything because, you know, they don't want to appear as being on a side of right or wrong. And it's like, so you fake remain neutral to go along and get along, even though you knowing all along, like there is some right and wrong in the situation, you know. And I think when people do that, I think that helps degenerate communication within the community, communication within the culture, you know, which can degenerate um, within relationships, you know, within the social construct. But you know, people got a right to act how they gonna act. You know, that don't mean I got the funk with you. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you got the funk with me. You know,
And that's
but,
the cool part.
right?
They say birds of a feather.
You know, get cooked together.
Especially over here.
Throw them in that grease. Yes, indeed, guys. So y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. We just check out the chat. We got a couple people in there. What's up, Bug? Shout out to lovely ATV in the building.
What up? What up?
And then who's this? MC Time. You can identify with the truth.
Hey.
You know.
Salute.
Yeah, salute, family. But we ain't trying to identify with no lies.
Hell nah.
You know. For real. So y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat or in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. Have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate or too afraid as a society not to appear tolerant to degenerate behavior? Third, tonight, y'all. Does entertainment contribute to degeneration, or does it only reflect society as it is today? Does entertainment contribute to degeneration, or does it only reflect society? And like I said, today, like it is today. What you think, God?
I think the answer is yes. Entertainment does degrades society, and people want it today, right? They want. I think today, because there's no culture of productivity. Degeneracy is the flavor of the day, and the entertainment helps secure that mindset, right? I think originally, I think the entertainment industry helped, if not was the puppet of manipulation to make people dependent on the TV and on the music and stuff like that, and living in la la land. Everybody looking for quick 30-minute fixes because everything can be resolved in a 30-minute sitcom or a 2-hour movie, right? Unless there's a cliffhanger, then you wait for part 2, right? But it come like with the plantation mindset, right? Where it was enforced, enacted, put into people's mindset that the colonizers could literally take their hands off and stop doing the things to create the actions and let the pieces just move on their own because they've been trained to be niggas on the plantation, right? And if that's what you are, if that's what is bred, and that is where generations come from, then it's hard to, yeah, you gotta fight. It's not hard, you gotta fight, right? To come up out of that niggerdom and be free mentally and spiritually, right? Because it does take a lot to walk away from your loved ones that might be dangerous to you and to everybody else, to themselves, you, right? But I think entertainment did that, and now we're to the point to where, like I said, we're caught up in the algorithm. Everything is about the latest trends and the latest dance and the latest, how many views can we love the views, we love the likes. But for a lot of the stuff that gets the most views and likes are things that are a bunch of nothing things, just fun, right? And it's just momentarily fun. It's not even things that you can recreate or replicate at work or at church or in front of your grandmother, for real. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not your grandmother. No. Times have changed.
No, they can not. Grandmama just 45 now.
I know, right? That's why I said times have changed.
Might even be 39. Grandma might be 39 now.
Right. But that's what I think. I think the entertainment definitely contributes to the degradation of society. And it's also a reflection of who we've become, right? Because it seems like you would think, right, that we're all like with everybody being terrified of the Terminator and all those doomsday movies with the robots taking over the world, computers taking over the thing, AI taking over everything, that we would be less excited about giving up our freedoms to computers and to robotics and to AI. But it seems like we're, as a society, are moving more towards it and saying, Jesus, take the wheel, so to speak. Right? Like, I don't want to do the work. Like, if there's an easy button for real.
Robo Jesus, take the wheel.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? If I can just put my thoughts into this machine and say, you know what I was saying, and the machine like, yeah, I do. You was trying to say this, and then you just copy and paste, right? Because that's how it starts, right? And then it just progresses and elevates until now we all just in pods, and now we are batteries, just like in the Matrix, right? Like you would
nah, I won't. I won't live through that.
Hell no. But I'm just saying though, like for me, like that's how I feel like that's how we get to stuff like that, right? Like, I just feel like society is looking for the easy button, and relationships are hard. Situationships are easy, right? Partnerships are hard. If I have somebody who already has everything already, then I ain't got to do nothing with them. I can just keep grinding by myself and winning. They can just grind by themselves and winning. I don't have to sleep by myself. They don't have to sleep by myself. we kind of like partners. Like it's kind of like sophisticated roommates.
Sophisticated roommates. I like that. I never heard it, but I never heard it put like that. So you on a roll tonight. You said education is birthing nigglets. You know. That I mean that entertainment. What is it? Educate and both of them. Education, entertainment is causing nigger births. You know,
Like it's just
they're
crazy.
never right there, but it's crazy, God.
Like so, like it's like everything. Like everybody's caught up in celebrity relationships and promoting. And I'm saying promoting because that's what you see on the timelines. Like they're promoting these relationships are a reflection of your relationship.
Degenerate behavior.
You know what I'm saying? What they say? Meg got cheated on. Hey ladies, if Meg got cheated on, you're gonna get cheated on too. So cheat first, right? Like that was like a whole little mini campaign with the hopes of getting widespread reaction. And I'm saying like that's kind of crazy.
That's very degenerate. From what we were talking about in one of our shows in the previous, where we talked about how the Black community that once did exist, when it existed, and particularly we talking about the pre-Martin Luther King civil rights segregation movement, marriage was being propagandized or promoted or influenced or encouraged. That was the standard. And now it's just no standard. Now it is just degenerate, like far from that, going to what you said, where it's like, let me cheat first, or let me just be a cheater, and you just know that that's what it is, and I'm gonna have 20 random partners, and they all do something for me, guys and girls.
Guys and girls. Because they had Playgirl on there as well.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna be a whole pervert, degenerate.
And that seems to be, like, think about a guy like right now, there's a whole what looks like government officials protecting actual deviant behavior amongst themselves, right? Like they all voted against releasing their misconducts and whatnot. To me, I'm like, why y'all got people, doing misconduct? Like y'all, like y'all,
why do y'all even have report cards? Why do y'all even have a bad report card tucked that somebody else knew about, but you still got your job?
Yeah, like we talk about if any, like those people should be public examples of nobody's above reproach, and if you do something bad, wicked, or evil, you will be set on fire, metaphorically.
As a politician, though, and they're supposed to have a code of ethics, right? So when they work for the people, then there should be some sort of moral obligation to the position, but it's not. And
when the people see the government people cutting corners and being perverted and being deviants and degenerates, that behavior just trickled down. It's like, let me see what I can do. How far can I go? Right? Like the low vibrational, instead of saying, hey, let me set myself apart. They want to catch a lick. They want to see how far, they just want to be a part of the wave, and it's not good because it's just.
So do you think if they stopped, that it would have an effect? If they stopped doing all the underhanded stuff that they do, the politicians do, and all the whatever stuff nonsense they got, do you think the people would stop?
I do, because if they are the representation of the people, then if our representation are hard-nosed and honest, that suggests to me that the people that they represent are also hard-nosed and honest. So I would imagine that same trickle. So to me, I would imagine that same trickle down.
I don't think so, God. I don't think so, God. I think we live in a culture where they're gonna say, ain't nobody tell you to go get high and mighty all of a sudden.
No, I agree with that.
You
like
know?
We do live in that culture, but
yeah.
but if they got their shit together, I think that criminality would be too scared to be criminals, because like the magnifying glass is coming from the top.
I like
in my like
the hope.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yes, God.
But your question was kind of hopeful, right?
Nah, it was loaded, God. I apologize.
I just went with it. I don't think that's ever going to be possible, right? Like I think I think we're doomed. Like I think that it's every man for themselves, and each one that we can reach is the other one that we got to teach, right?
Right.
And it's not everybody.
No, it's not everyone.
It's everybody that I can influence and impact, and that love me and that I love back. Those are my everybody's.
No doubt. Them folks still gonna be degenerate though. They're gonna be like, I've been degenerate for so long. Why do I want to change now? I just want to keep worsening. I want to get worse with it.
I want to get worse.
I'm looking for worse things to do.
What can I do today?
What can I do today? Whose day can I ruin? Remember, misery love company. Some people just want to be left alone.
Like all them dudes, all them weirdos that be getting on public transportation, touching women's butts and stuff like that because it's crowded. Like people that actually go out their way and do stuff like that. It's like, yo, son, you can just literally go to the strip club.
You could just literally go to the strip club, right?
Like they women sitting there waiting for you to do
that. We ain't gonna do that to the dancers.
The dancers want to get.
They don't want to get groped. They don't want to just not without compensation and a conversation. It's not just the grab-a-thon. This week at Playgirls, Playboy.
My money. I pay
it's the grab-a-thon.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for the male review guys because I've never been one of them. But maybe they want to get grabbed on. I don't know. Some masculine energy thing. But man, this degenerate behavior is getting really wild out here, God. And when we ask the question, does the entertainment contribute to degeneration, or does it only reflect society? Yeah, I mean, we got social media. Like you were saying, we touched on so many great points. We got the social media aspect of it where you can just type in twerk and you can get twerk. You can type in shootings and you can just get shooting news. You can type in crime stories, you can type in just hood crime and you can get stuff. And that stuff, like you said, is doing the most trending, the stories that are the most perverted, the most provocative, the things that are the most rude and disrespectful. Those things get highlighted the most. And then we might get called weirdos because we ain't on that. Because it's like, well, what do you think? You higher and mightier than? I'm higher and mightier than that. Yes.
I'll wear that weirdo hat.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely higher and mightier than spending my days putting poison, other than Black and Miles, and a little, I ain't even called my prescription no poison because you know what I'm saying? I need that to live. All right. But other than that, though, you know, I can't see like feeding my mental with this when we talk about the television shows that just showcase drama all the time, just drama, 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 drama. People arguing, not knowing how to have calm adult conversations to resolve their issues. They gotta be somebody got to get a drink thrown on them. Somebody got to get this thrown on them. There got to be some wild. It got to be something wild going on. It can't be just you got an issue. Okay, let's talk about that. What's going on? You know, well, this how I feel about it. Well, this how I feel about it. Okay, so what we gonna do about it? You know, we don't never see things like that. We see the worst side of it, and then it goes from the one extreme, from the fight to now it's flowers and here go and makeup and here go a new watch or a new bag or something superficial, to say that being sincere about the understanding of the interaction is not enough. You know, and that culture is being promoted in an environment where young people are struggling to get jobs. Things like scamming and boosting is being promoted. It's something to groove to. Like the issue that you brought up with the from the Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson relationship of, you know, promoting women to just continue to don't look for no husband. Don't try to be, you know, don't try to treat your vajayjay sacred, you know. Just go out here and do, you know, do whatever you want to do with it. Like, yeah, it's yours, you know. Let everybody run through it. You know. Like how do men raise when a lot of people don't ask it, like how are men raising daughters feeling about that? You know? Like the men, like the dads, that's the fathers that are there with their daughters, like they have to compete with that shit like every single day. You know,
fight.
So shout out to them. You know, the music telling the boys to be a slider, telling the young men to be, don't even forget a fight, forget being able to know how to defend yourself. You know, if you ain't a shooter, if you ain't willing to murder somebody and throw your life away over something foolish, over something that's probably foolish, then you don't stand on business. You ain't this, you ain't that. Like,
gotta get your black card revoked.
When all of these OGs coming home, all of these older hustlers and guys that were selling drugs and committing murders and stuff are coming home today, and the only thing they saying is it wasn't worth it
at all.
And yeah, they may not be talking about the crime. They may not regret the crime or the activities they was in. But everybody, all my brothers that I know that done been locked up, family members and everything, the number one thing is the time that they miss with their family. The time that they miss seeing people that they love, that they were interested in, grow up and become things, and how they could have participated and been involved, but they had made a choice that cost them years of their life to be incarcerated. That's the part that everybody, I don't care how many years they did, 30, 40, 10, 12, 8, 5. That's the thing that they all feel the same about. That's important. We don't focus on that enough, you know, because the entertainment side of it is promoting, you know, do the crimes and then glorifying jail, going to jail. Like that's something to be proud of. You know, then we have the N word and the B word and how we wear that, how that's being so promoted and culturally exploited. So definitely I'm agreeing to our question. Does entertainment contribute to degeneration? Yes, it does. And I think that it contributes to it more so than it reflects, because it allows to shape, it allows to influence. So then, yes, those things become a reflection of society because people taking their cues from this stuff. But y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat or the comment section below as we move on to question number 4. Does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? If yes or no, why? What does it look like? And what are some solutions?
Yes. Why? Because they said that what they did to us was legal and they're not going to apologize for it. And solutions, we need to recognize the situation that we're in a situation, look ourselves in the mirror and be honest with ourselves, learn to see each other, especially those in our families, in our same households, as our reflections, right? So that what we see for them is what we see for ourselves, what we hope to see for in other people that look like us, right? To start to develop a hive mind kind of mentality where we're working towards something for the whole. Because if you see yourself in everybody and you see yours and everybody see themselves in you and everybody's trying to promote greatness, that works, right? Solutions, I think if we turn the TVs off and so like the thing with entertainment, right? Like, so back in the day before the Martin Luther King civil rights stuff like that you was talking about, I feel like there was enough culture to where people could actually discern entertainment from reality. Because like, all right, so I'm turning the TV on to escape reality, to be entertained, to laugh, have fun, whatever, because I got the real world outside and I know what real life feels like. I feel like now today people are looking at the TV like the news and seeing all the videos and the movies and even the commercials as trendy and what's actually happened, like a news feed or whatever, right? Like on social media, right?
Like, I want to do that because I see it.
Because I see it.
Right.
And because we don't have a culture that protects us from discerning what we see from what we know is good for us, I think that's we can fix that if we focused on, if we again, we always say it, right? If we can just agree on one thing, that'll be the start of the fix, right? If we can just agree that there needs to be a fix, that would start the conversation that just, again, hopefully, I'm high hopes, will propel the conversation, the domino to fall forward to where now we're just having conversations. Since we already agree, let's just keep having conversations to find more things that we agree on, that we can actually do things on to affect a change that we want to see. Maybe not the change, but a change, so that things can be different, so that we can actually start to define what the change needs to actually be. you know, because, you know, culture is not just, I don't think culture is just made up by one person. Like everybody got to agree and have buy-in to do a thing, right? So if we can just agree on one thing, I think that'll be the solution. But yeah, I think so. I think yeah, the answer is yes. Let me make sure I'm answering all the questions. Does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? Yes, right. They say we used to be kings and queens, right? We was kidnapped from the continent. Granted, everybody couldn't have been kings and queens that was kidnapped, right? There wasn't that many kingdoms for everybody to be kings and queens. But that's who we descend from, right? So we need to start acting like it. Why? Because of the transatlantic slave trade, right? Because of the plantation breeding of African Americans, right? Because once the British stopped bringing Africans from the continent over here, and they just started breeding folks, right? Like that created a brand new thing, right? And that behavior cannot be dismissed. The thing that was created can't be dismissed and just chalked up as, no, y'all still the same as your ancestors. It has to be acknowledged, right? And the solution is if we can just agree on one thing to just get the ball rolling, I think that'll fix everything, because once the ball is rolling, it's rolling.
That's a damn good solution, God. One of the things you said before I go, I had a question. How do we act like kings and queens? What does that look like? What does those actions look like?
That's why I referenced buying houses earlier, because kings and queens at least have a kingdom, right? And or a castle at least, right? And everybody, you know, here in America, we talk about being kings of our castles, but most of us aren't homeowners, right? So even if the castle we are in is a castle, it's at the very least rented, right? So we are only kings until the king shows up and be like, you evicted, right? So if we can get into that's why I said it started with home ownership, because to me, home ownership lends itself to financial literacy, which lends itself to financial freedom. And kings and queens have financial freedom. They are financially literate. They understand themselves in respect to what's going on in the world. So they won't necessarily live above their means. They just raise taxes.
I got you. Just before that cleared things up a little bit. I do want to say though that kings and queens got their castle paid off, and the other properties that they own, everybody else pays to the you know. So that, but I'm with that. We on that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, like the guy Ali Dawud was saying, like owning some property, yeah, like you do want to own some properties, because you know, because properties is where you can actually have be the king and have somebody, you know, paying tribute to you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the home you own is a liability until you turn it into an investment. The thing is that you can always leverage the equity. So, you know, and you can participate in the market. If it goes up, you could sell it. Versus if you just renting, you can't sell nothing. You just moving or your rent going up. You know, so but then you also have to deal with if the prices go down, market fluctuation. If the prices go down if home prices go down and you owe more, then you know what your house is worth. Like let's say,
and I'm saying that's all the price of sovereignty.
Yeah, that's all, but that's how the game go. You know?
That's how the game.
Yeah, that's the game rules. You know, So, because at the end of the day, you know, they got them things called taxes, and you know, if you don't pay that, you could pay it off, but if you don't pay the taxes, guess what?
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, it's still gone. So y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. Make sure to smash that like button. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with us. Does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? Why? If yes or no, why? What does it look like? And what are some solutions? I'm going to keep mine short and simple, God. Does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? Yes. Okay. What does it look like? I'm only going to go with one thing. There's many things that I could go with tonight, but we're going to get into these flavor bombs when we want to get through all these questions. But what it looks like to me is us, but I've spoken to you about this offline. We've spoken to about, you know, it's a passionate thing to me. How Black people, how we are so comfortable and casual with calling each other niggas and bitches. Okay. And the last time I was in a situation where I called a woman a bitch, I don't think what they realized was that I was being sarcastic. It wasn't like, you blah, blah, blah ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? And what came with it was me saying, I did not bring niggas and bitches into this conversation, but I obliged you because for some reason, you don't realize I can get on your level, but I ain't been on your level. That's not a level that I desire to be on with anybody. I'm above that level. I already did that. I already been the realest nigga, the most gangster nigga, the wildest nigga, to this type of nigga, to that type of nigga, and all these other type of niggas that I'm not cool with. What I understood was this, and this is where I'd say this is the problem, is that we are being trained from a lot of things that God was saying, all right, if not everything, to embrace these degenerate ways of communicating, these degenerate ways of treating each other, from the home being broken up, you know, all them things that the guy was talking about that we can't even get an apology for, and then ain't gonna be no reparation. Okay, these are the symptoms. These are the things that we see, that we experience, the traumas that everybody goes through, and that's the source of it. Okay, that's the inception of it. All right. So when we listen to the songs, perfect example, brand new song. Okay. And it's not that we picking on this song, we just using it because I love hip hop. I listen to music. I'm living right now. It's a song that's supposed to be a popular song that is supposed that my people supposed to be the ones jamming to the most. My people made it so I could speak about it. And even if somebody else didn't speak about it, you know, it didn't made the song, and my people was gravitating to it, thinking that it's cool and it's the jam, I still would have a problem with it coming from that community. So when the young lady say, where are my scamming ass N-words at? All right. Then the boosters, which she gave to the ladies, had to be bitches. Okay. So that's the only time where you see niggas and bitches used in a casual or I guess, is it uplifting? It ain't uplifting for me. All right. Scenario. But you can't have the niggas without some bitches. Okay. That is the thing that we have a problem, that we have a problem with as a people, is that we keep embracing this N-word that was made to defamate us, and our women are too comfortable with allowing themselves to be female dogs. Okay, they are too comfortable with that. And what is the solution? Everybody talking about boycotting these Asians, for the getting it, and the sisters is not gonna stop boycotting. They not boycotting getting they feet and they hands done. They're not gonna be boycotting getting that fake hair and all that other stuff that they need to do to beautify. Okay. But we can boycott calling each other niggas and bitches. We can make that not cool. Okay. Not selectively either. Not, oh, that's he a real one. Oh, that's my ninja. Oh, well, she a bad bitch. Oh, he didn't. Nah, I'm talking about none of that. But that goes to what the guy was saying, collectively agreeing. And if we can't get people to collectively agree, Black men to say that they don't want to be niggas anymore or whatever it represents, and Black women to say that they have a problem with being a bitch other than when a Black man call them, then we are never going to see a collective Black community, a functioning, productive Black community, the way everybody fantasize, hope about, dream about, but ain't willing to put the work in to actually manifest.
Because it does require work.
So y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section, in the chat. Does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? If yes or no, why? Let us know what your why is, why you think it does or it doesn't. What do it look like? And then what are some solutions? If it doesn't, then of course there won't be no solution. But let us know why you don't think it does. Because we just our insights on it. You know, you may be living in a total different world than we living in on the same planet. I think that's fair. You know, so before we go ahead and get to our flavor bombs, man, make sure y'all go ahead and smash that like button, please. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. And let's go ahead and get into Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV. So yeah, y'all. So tonight's flavor bomb. First, we got the SCOTUS. Supreme Court upholds school sports law banning transgender people. Okay. Then we're gonna head to Georgia, by the way of the Midwest, and check out this gun pipeline shut down by the feds. It was getting active in Georgia. And then we're gonna head to check out this story about an Army veteran who kills a man over a parking spot dispute. Wild story. But yeah, let's get into it.
The Supreme Court has upheld state laws barring transgender girls and women from competing on high school and college sports teams in another setback for transgender rights. The court has repeatedly ruled against transgender people in the past year, and the latest ruling found that laws in Idaho and West Virginia do not violate either the Constitution or the federal law known as Title IX that bars discrimination in education. There are about 24 other Republican-led states with similar laws, and it seems likely that the decision will extend to those laws as well. Left unresolved by this decision are lawsuits in California, Connecticut, and elsewhere, where transgender girls and women are allowed to compete consistent with their gender identity.
What say you, God?
First, I think it's degenerate to even have the Supreme Court have to rule on something like that.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, we tried to make the flavor bombs. That's something we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna be trying to make the flavor bombs, you know, kind of tie into with the word that we're smoking on, you know, for the show. So yeah,
That's
we
what
think
I
that
was thinking
it's
about.
degenerate behavior. Yes, go ahead.
You know, I'm not with the. I don't like it. You know, I think whatever you was born as, you should play those sports. I'm not with no boy deciding, he's not good enough to play on the men's team or the boys team to re-identify. And now you're gonna go dominate on the girls team. I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that, like especially when you start getting playing physically, right? If they're talking about tennis, I'll probably be like, I don't know, like, because we just talk about technique, but that's still power too. But can't nobody get hurt per se. So it's not like with the MMA where they were knocking people out and breaking faces and stuff like that. And
yeah, you still no man against
that's crazy, God. Like,
no.
I'm not with none of that. So
or no transgender woman against a cis woman. Is that how they say it?
Yeah, I think that's degenerate. That we gotta.
It's all these new things like like what is going on? This is crazy, So yes.
Yeah, God, that's what I think, man. I think that the world we live in is nuts, man. But I'm glad they got something right, I guess.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Supreme Court for getting this one right. For all the, I speak as an uncle, as a god daddy, godfather to, to some beautiful young women that are flourishing in life, and a big cousin to some beautiful cousins that are flourishing in life and doing. And the last thing that I ever want to hear about is a man putting their hands on them, and it ain't in a loving way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we going to prison, God.
Yeah, like, we already it's already established that we ain't playing. So, I don't think for sport that this is, I think that they got it right with this right here. Yeah. And you shouldn't play with it because like it just don't make sense. You don't see girls growing up and being in the NFL. Why? Because physically they get hurt. You got 6'7", 300-pound tackle. You getting broke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, that's not even. So so just like you said, it's degenerate for it even to have to go to the Supreme Court. I hope that don't offend nobody because we're not here to offend nobody. But I'm just saying though, like for the people who pushed it to the Supreme Court, because it was the people who pushed it to the Supreme Court.
Yo, God, what you just said proves how degenerate it is, right? Like, so because you don't see girls turning into men going to play for NFL because they physically cannot. You know what I'm saying? Means that this whole thing was just one-sided, right? Like the fact that it was just only applied one way means that it's a dub, right? This is dumb.
Yes, it is. So shout out to the Supreme Court. Let's get to this next story.
Federal authorities say they have stopped a gun pipeline from Georgia to Illinois that they say was the source of many illegal guns on Chicago's streets. As Chuck Goldie reports, several people have now been taken into federal custody.
This man accused of being at the top of the Chicago gang gun trafficking pyramid, 28-year-old Anthony Edmonds, seen here holding a Glock pistol that authorities say had been converted into a fully automatic machine gun. The beginning of the gun pipeline here in Athens, Georgia, where beginning in the year 2020, authorities say Edmond fed a 785-mile pipeline to Chicago, where gang leaders were stockpiling weapons. According to newly filed federal charges in Georgia, Edmond purchased guns from 5 different retail stores, falsifying paperwork and circumventing federal law.
God, this is what I want to know right here. How did he think he was not going to get caught buying these guns at these stores? How do you think you're not going to get caught? See, but I be thinking the degenerate behavior is doing this stuff, thinking that I'm not gonna get caught because I'm using these different IDs, blah 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 blah, and it's like, family, like they got.
I wasn't thinking that, God. I thought that they was robbing these. I thought they was robbing the trucks or robbing, like they was taking them out the back of these stores. I didn't think the guy was gonna have a receipt.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, they're gonna have receipts.
didn't think that's how this was going.
Yeah, they're gonna have receipts. It's different. It's not like it was back in the day, you know, where people will rob a gun store. I mean, now some people still do that, but it's very, very rare. Most of the time, the new thing is people getting them in another state and they taking them to another state. They go to states where the gun laws are a little bit more relaxed. They purchase them and then they traffic them, you know. So this is what we're seeing in this case right here. But this was just stupid. Like, why do you not think that you're not? I mean, if it's you on camera going in there, then it don't matter if you're using a different name. It's you on camera, like in 8 different stores.
In custody now are 28-year-old Rafael Ralphie Enriquez, a Chicago gang operative with a violent criminal history stretching back more than a decade. And in custody, this Chicago man, 34-year-old Melvin Griffin, whose first gun arrest was 12 years ago. This music video, recorded in Georgia, is cited by federal prosecutors in their grand jury indictment, in which authorities say several of the accused Chicago gangbangers are seen brandishing Glock pistols that resemble those illegally bought for the pipeline. Investigators say the video, entitled Switchy, is a tribute to the illegal switches that turn regular pistols into fully automatic weapons. The alleged producer of the gun video is this man, 29-year-old accused Chicago gang member Elijah Lucina. He's a fugitive. And this fifth suspect, 28-year-old Keontis Reed, is also not in federal custody, but with good reason. The NBC Chicago investigative team has found Reed. He was arrested for shooting an unarmed 16-year-old boy in the head 4 months ago near this intersection in South Bend, Indiana. Investigators say the killing may have occurred during a drug buy gone bad. Reed is now in local custody here at the St. Joseph County Jail, facing murder charges and being held without bond. Investigators have not revealed whether the .45 caliber pistol Reed is accused of using to kill the teenager was one of these, obtained through the Georgia to Chicago pipeline.
Yeah, that's crazy. One of them guys are doing the dash right now. But it seemed like they got the other guy caught up. But it's just foolishness. This is degeneracy. Let's look at, we ain't even gonna punch down on them all the way. I'm gonna look at it and say like this: the level of intelligence that it took for them to organize together to run that whole syndicate, okay, to say, okay, we're gonna go buy the guns, then we're gonna try and, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do all that energy and time it went into scamming ass niggas, and all the time that it went into all that. They couldn't have put that energy into a legitimate business. All the organizational skills and they had to be able to work these things, and even their network of being able to, their network of transport, their network of supply, their network of distribution. Like all of those things are business. Ain't that what Amazon do? Yeah. And it's just amazing that we see this. We see organized people able to organize and come together and do some criminal activity, but taking that same energy and putting it into something legitimate, so that way your story doesn't sound like this. Your story sounds like 10 young Black entrepreneurs, businessmen from different states came together to blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like we don't value that. No, do the degenerate thing. Let's just commit some crime and roll with it too. If we spend 15, 30 years of our life in prison, who cares? We miss our daughters' birthdays. We miss our sons' debutante pageants. We miss out,
Crazy.
I mean, it ain't even some honorable like being in the military and being deployed. You know what I'm saying? It's like just gonna be criminal activity. And if I lose out on time, so what? I don't get how the selfishness of it. I don't get the logic and the selfishness of it when it's like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do to feed my family, and you choose illegal activity, not realizing if you get locked up, then you're not going to be there to protect or feed your family. I don't get the logic behind it.
This morning, the ongoing investigation into a deadly confrontation in Florida, a parking space dispute turning deadly outside a Walmart. 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo shot and killed.
Female shot someone outside in the parking lot. Both out there were fighting over a parking spot.
Authorities say the altercation started about 5 minutes earlier, with the two drivers fighting over a parking spot. DeGuglielmo then parked his car, partially blocking the spot, and walked into the store. Witnesses say the woman then managed to slip into the spot anyway. The woman is then seen getting out of her car, phone in one hand, gun in the other, yelling at DeGuglielmo, who appears to be yelling back. He's then seen walking toward her as she points the gun at him. She backs up several times, gun leveled. She retreats around the car. He follows. An eyewitness says the woman repeatedly warned him she'll shoot if he keeps coming at her. He appears to leave, but then quickly returns. And then she opens fire, shooting DeGuglielmo. Police then take the woman into custody. Officials say she claims she was acting in self-defense. Now that woman is no longer in custody and the shooting is under current investigation. Prosecutors will have to decide what charges, if any at all, are warranted. Really, guys, it's just a question of, is this self-defense or not?
And really, there's the question, God, is that self-defense or not?
Yeah, that guy was crazy, son. So this is my thing, right? If somebody pulls a gun and is aiming it at you and telling you to don't come closer, and you walk closer, I'm thinking that person is probably getting scared and scared. Like, yo, you don't see this gun in my hand? Like, I think self-defense is right. Like, why would that guy just keep walking up? Like, I didn't understand none of that. Right? Like, as soon as I saw it come out with the car with the gun, I'm like, that was crazy. I don't know. Like, so the way the narrative said, they said that she was cussing and then he was cussing back. Right? I don't know about that, right?
No.
I just know what I saw. And what I saw looked crazy.
Oh no. So that's what you got, guy? That's what you got on?
I mean, it looked like self-defense to me, right?
Okay.
Like,
okay.
That's what
okay.
Like
it ain't look like self-defense to me.
Yeah,
it ain't look like self-defense to me. I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side of the coin.
I got you.
I do think he was crazy.
Crazy.
For somebody pulling a gun on him, telling them, I'm gonna shoot you, and now he eggs it on. You know that thing that we talk about, I wish a mofo would, and then you mess around and find out.
And that's where I stop with it, right? Like everything else kind of like
yeah, I know. We know, no, it's my turn now. Cause we know you start and stop with that and nothing else. We ain't gonna look at nothing else. I'm gonna look at everything else. Okay.
Because he did now.
I'm gonna look at everything else. And everything else is she had the gun.
She did.
She had the gun. So I know for a fact that like when you have the gun, then it's a different level of responsibility. Like he couldn't even get no punch off or nothing, because she already had drawn. She was already in shooting position. So
why would he even need to punch her? That's crazy.
I'm just saying, like, for her to justify shooting him.
Yeah, whole grown man.
I mean, like I said, I get what you're saying already, but that ain't how they gonna look at that in the courts, though.
So you pro men fighting women? And women having
I ain't never like I said,
and women having to fight back against men.
Do you need me to answer that question for real?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't.
But okay, so what I'm saying is me already saying if somebody up it on you and they giving you a warning saying just go, then you should be taking that warning and going. Right. Matter of fact, when you see it up, you should already be trying to get
Yo, my bad. I'm going.
You know, nah, I ain't even know my bad. It ain't nothing else to say. I'm going in the opposite direction because I don't have that. You see what I'm saying? I can't defend myself at that same level. So automatically, instinctively, I need to be like, oh, even if I see you reaching, you know, like if I got something and I see you reaching after you just said like, oh, like you announced it, then I might shoot you. I might shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? When you reaching, okay? Because you done told me that it's going down. What I'm supposed to stand there and wait for you to react? Nah, if I got it, then you seen the Western movies, quick draw McGraw out. You know what I'm saying? We going wide earth. So
I got it, you got it.
Yeah. So that's different. But I think when they get to the courts, you know,
that'd be interesting.
I think when they get to the courts, they're gonna look at it like I don't think it's a black and white issue. I think that when they look at the court, when they look at it, they're gonna be like, did she ever had time to get in her car and drive off? And they're gonna only look at that because she had the gun, not because he ain't had no gun. And I think they're not gonna see where we see like, should a man even be trying to fight a girl? You know, no. You know, did he have ample opportunity when he seen the gun to turn around and walk away? Yes. Should he have turned around and walked away and just, you know, not died over a damn parking spot?
that he wasn't in the first place.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I'm saying, guy. Like so it sounded like he pulled up, went into the store, did his thing, came out, and I don't know, like that whole thing was strange, right? Like,
but see, I can't see myself in no situation where I done shot somebody over a parking spot. I can't see no level of escalation unless they pull it on me first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that. I don't see like over a parking spot. I'm not pulling my pistol over no parking spot. That ain't, you know, so we already know we dealing with an emotional level of immaturity that a gun got to get pulled over a parking spot. It is a simple parking spot. We in a parking lot with a whole bunch of other fucking parking spots. Nobody needs to die. Nobody need to pull a pistol over a parking spot.
Fight, period. Like,
or fight behind it. Nobody. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, we agree there.
I don't know if she gonna be. I don't know if she gonna be exonerated. If that's gonna fly. I don't know. You know, I don't know if that's gonna. You know.
I don't know. I needed more angles to see because the question you asked is because she had went away, and I don't know, like the way they talked about how she had to squeeze into that spot. That don't sound like she could have just easily pulled out. But I don't know.
Well, you know what though? I play with it. Let's bring it back. I play with it.
I saw the car pull out, but I didn't see where he was parked at in her way. Like that whole thing just seemed crazy.
I play with it. Let's bring it back because this right here. Let's bring it back.
His car partially blocking the spot and walked into the store. Witnesses say the woman then managed to slip into.
So that's her car right there. Now she hopping out. They say she managed to slip into the spot.
I don't see the.
So he blocked it. So they saying he blocked it, but she managed to still park there anyway, right?
Partially blocking the spot and walked into the store. Witnesses say the woman then managed to slip into the spot anyway.
The witnesses say she parked there anyway. Like, I don't give a shit about you blocking your car here. I'm a part. So now it's like both of them actively engaged over beefing about this parking spot because she took it anyway.
I don't know. What did she take? Because he was just parked in front of it. Like he wasn't in the spot.
Well, what I'm saying is,
and he was in a store. Like, so
I'm saying in their world, in his brain, he's blocking her from getting it. So whether he in it or not, he don't want nobody else to have it, especially her, because that's who he engaged in the little drama with. That's how he got shot. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got shot, guys. We talking about him, right? Okay. Now she done backed in there like, I'm gonna park here anyway. I got that thing on me. I ain't tripping on you.
I got that thing on me.
Right? So she parks in the spot.
Woman is then seen getting out of her car, phone in one hand, gun in the other, yelling at Guglielmo, who appears to be yelling back. He's then
okay. She yelling at him, he yelling back. All right. Now he walking up on her. This video
seen walking toward her as she points the gun at him.
And
she backs up several times, gun leveled. She retreats around the car. He follows. An eyewitness says the woman repeatedly warned him she'll shoot if he keeps coming at her. He appears to leave, but then quickly returns.
So right there, when he left,
she could have made that left.
She could have hopped in the car and rode.
Made that left right there where that car pulled out at.
She could have hopped in the car and rode right there when he walked away.
Cause she not blocked in right now.
Cause ain't no threat. It's zero threat right now. He done walked away. We just watched him. He walking up. He's still pressing his luck. He trying to get popped, and he messed around and found out.
I would 100% tell my wife to shoot this big.
But right here, he backing up. He walking off, and that's her car.
Yeah,
she can hop in the car right now and pull off. So this is why I don't think that
it'd be interesting
that she's gonna get self-defense. I don't, and she's a vet, and I don't want her to ruin her life for that. But that's kind of like a little bad decision, boo. He probably
said that was Florida.
I believe so. I think he deserved to get shot, but I don't think he should have got shot.
Nah, she might be good though, guys. Stand your ground. Right, because if she going to the store, she got the right to continue to go to the store. She shouldn't have to flee. Like the law specifically says that you have the right to not to have to run, right? You can stand your ground and continue about your business. So she might be all right.
Nah, she ain't got no bruises, no bumps, no nothing. If video shows she could have gotten the car and pulled off, I'm thinking they're gonna be like, nah, like you had enough time when he was okay. He followed you over there to the side. Then he backed off and came back, and you were able to get all the way to your vehicle. You could have hopped in your vehicle and drove off. And this is another thing too. You're a veteran. You was in the Army, so you should know about gun safety and how to handle, whether you do or not, whether you remember it or not, they always gonna have that as a caveat to be able to hold that against veterans. So, we hope she come out on the bright side of it. Her life isn't ruined, but at the end of the day, though, it ain't looking good for sis. Not at all, for real. Not from this perspective. The way the last few people have been trying to use a self-defense reasoning for using deadly force, and the courts is not hearing it. So I don't know if it's in the season. I think some people are winning, but it's, they talking about this meeting deadly force with deadly force type narrative now. So we'll follow it. We'll dig a little deep and research and follow and see how she make out. If they brought it to the news once, maybe they bring the story back up again, and we could see how things turn out. But condolences to the family of the person, that lost their life. And we also praying for the sister to you gotta make better decisions with them pistols, baby girl. Already take it from me. Take it from somebody who knows.
You know what's funny about that? Like, cause I'm saying let's stay alive, people. Let's not argue over parking spots.
Let's not die over parking spaces, right?
Right, like let's not get shot in the face over a parking space, right? Which is where I'm at with it, right? Because I'm saying, like, he didn't have nothing on him, like, and he wanted to, like, let's stop being tough and just park someplace else, right? Like, just if living is what you're trying to do.
If living is what you're trying to do, and not living rough, okay?
You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. Because she got to be stressed out. You know, her anxiety got to be through the roof, not knowing if
She's about to go to prison or not.
if the court are going to say, or going to look at that video and review it and say, yeah, it was self-defense. You were your life was in danger, and it's validated. Or if they saying, well, you had a chance to get in the car and go. You didn't have to use deadly force. You know, you didn't have to shoot him. You had a choice. So, and then sometimes when people in the heat of the moment, they're not thinking like that. They're not thinking logically, because she could have been scared for real. So fear will make you, I always say that fear make you kill somebody faster than a real killer will kill somebody, you know, because the scared person is just scared. They just like, they're not thinking, they're not logical. It probably ain't normal for them to even be in a situation like that. So, you know, you have to be careful, extra careful with a scary person, because they will shoot you.
Especially if they holding a gun on you and tell you don't walk up on them, and you walk up on them, probably gonna get shot.
Yeah, especially for a conversation. Don't talk to me like that. Don't yell at me like that. That ain't my name. That ain't don't talk to me like that. At gunpoint, that's crazy. So
Crazy.
over a parking spot. I park here when I feel like parking here. You don't tell me where to park at. Like,
you should probably walk away.
That's wild. But
you've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
Yeah, y'all. So we have been smoking on Degenerate tonight, and we are at our fifth and final question: is the word degenerate bad, good, or misunderstood? The guy Ali Dawudel at BK Soul Farm.
It's a little tough for me because I think the word is perfectly applicable. So I don't know if it's
well, that's what makes it good.
Yeah, so okay. So if it's perfectly applicable, then it's good. Right. It doesn't it's not wishy-washy like the word nice. It doesn't make you think of anything good or positive. It only makes you think of negativity, which is what the word alludes to. So yeah, I think it works. And I don't like it, but I think it definitely is a good word. It's applicable.
No doubt.
As is.
No doubt. So the guy says it's good because the definition lines up with a lot of the meaningful actions that we see, and a lot of the things that it's easy to point out. It's easy to identify. And if you look at the word, then you can correlate it. So yeah, that definitely makes it good. I'm gonna go with the all three though on this. I'm gonna go with the bad too. I'm gonna go with the good. Why you say it's good? I definitely agree with that. The bad is because it's a thing, and it's a real thing, and it's not nothing of positivity. You know, it doesn't give us any. Degenerate behavior is not something that makes people proud. Not that it's not something that makes people say, I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to be your friend. I'm rooting for you. I'm championing for you, you know, other than to get better, you know, to stop being degenerate. I guess invoking a pity party, you know, not something celebratory like, yay, you accomplished this, yay, you passed the goal, yay, you graduated from college, high school, you know, you got a new job, you know, you moving out on your own, you paying your bills better, you know, you budgeting your money better, you know, you got your credit good, you know, anything that uplifts people, that's like, you know, you got your health better, you know, you lost weight, you feel, you know, you're eating better. Any of these things that we can actually compliment a person, praise a person, appreciate a person, or aspire to be, have nothing to do, the exact opposite of degenerate. You know, So that's what makes it bad to me, because it doesn't bring anything positive to the spectrum and of life. And then when we see misunderstood, it's because nobody wants to follow it. Nobody wants to study it. Nobody wants to go back and say, dang, when I was in my youth, my auntie used to call me degenerate, derelicts, all this other stuff, and I'm just thinking like, I'm thinking like, that's, oh, you a real nigga, being called these words are more insults to add to injury on the nigga, and thinking that that's cool, thinking that that is something to aspire to be, other than an upstanding man first, and be a black man because you got to wear that skin. Okay. So bad, good, misunderstood. Those are the reasons why the guy got good. And that's what the Cigarden Panel thinks of the word degenerate being bad, good, or misunderstood. We also had tonight our first question: what do you think of when you hear the word degenerate? Number 2, our second question: have we become too quick to judge people as degenerate, or too afraid as a society to not appear tolerant to degenerate behavior? Third, does entertainment contribute to degeneration, or does it only reflect society? Fourth, does the Black community have a problem of degeneracy? If yes or no, why? What does it look like? And what are some solutions? And then fifth and final, last but never least, is the word degenerate bad, good, or misunderstood? Like we always say, y'all, let us know what you think in the comment section below. We always respond to everything, all the comments. Don't forget to please smash that like button. Also, we got, oh man, we got some good things coming at DBCHEFTV, but we're not even gonna get into that, man. We want to thank everybody for pulling up with us tonight. Always remember, we not the gurus of anything. We are learning these things, trying to be better versions of ourselves, and that's what we encourage everybody to come join in the discussion, exchange insights with us each and every Sunday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here on Cigar Sundays Live. If you value that too, if you rocking with that, and some interesting stuff going on here, you like something in the ashtray, pick it up, have a smoke. If not, leave it for somebody else to come through. We've been smoking on Degenerate tonight. We want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. It's still summertime. The temperature's been crazy. All right. So y'all stay hydrated, and motivated. Stay hydrated and motivated out here, y'all. All right. And we'll see y'all next Sunday right here, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Cigar Sundays Live. Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the guy Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. You are the key to your financial freedom, so unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast. the Veteran Kettle.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.